Morning, ma'am. I am Johara Abu from BSE. My topic for now is the National Church, which means Mabini's suggestion that the Filipino National Church be established was held by the Filipino clergy. So, clergy is the religious leaders whose job is serving the needs of their religion and its member, like priests, ministers, rabbis, and etc. So, Aglipay on October 23, 1999, called a meeting of Filipino press and Panaki Tarlac. So the Filipino press now believe, especially because of the Filipino government was favorable to their aspiration, that the time has come for them to assert the right not only to occupy parishes but also to occupy his high position in the church. So sa ang manage sa ang purpose sa Aglipay is he said the Catholic Church in the Philippines should be Philippinized. So ang purpose ani is to Philippinize. So that is administered by Filipino priests. So gikuan siya sa priests. Consequently, provisional constitution of the proposed Filipino Church was prepared. One of the canons of the Constitution forbade the recognition of foreign bishop. So by the Filipino clergy, except under extreme circumstances, this provincial constitution of Filipino Church was declaration of independence of the Filipino clergy from Spanish. So ga control and ga supervise siya, but there's a condition, na siya condition of the time. So namely the Philippine-American War. Kano ang iyahang condition and its impending effects in the country. So destruction and chaos preventing the actual establishment of the Filipino National Church. So ang mabini daw is the establish and giheld siya sa Aglipay o sa katong sa October 23, 1899. So opposition to Philippination. So the campaign to Philippinize the Catholic Church in the Philippines simultaneously suffered a setback with a series of Filipino defeats on fields of a battle. So dito sa opposition to Philippination, nagcampaign sila to Philippinize the Catholic Church sa Pilipinas. So nagsuffered a setback with a series of Filipino defeats of the fields of battle. So hindi sila nanalo sa battle. So sa January 1900, the new new apostolic delegate to the Philippines. So naay new apostolic sa Philippines. So this is the Monsignor Placido Chapel. So isa siyang chapel sa Amerika. So ang Amerika is ga-arrive sila sa Manila. So instead nga sympathizing sa Filipino priest o sa pari, ga-announce sila sa those who suppose the Spanish fires were the enemies of religion and public order. Nag-threaten siya sa Filipino nga mga pari by saying that he would dominate them by force because he explained he was the Pope's delegate to the Philippines. So magkuan siya, he was the Pope kay ngano siya daw ang Pope sa Pilipinas and one hand, and the America Pope's delegate to one hand, and on the other he also said that his revolutionary leader should be chopped off. So gaad pa siya as na pag-insulto sa mga Pilipino by saying Filipino priest, ang mga Pilipino daw nga mga pari is incompetent and therefore fit to occupy only menial position in the church. Such brutal frankness, which was quite rare among Axilitics, won him the enemy of the Filipinos clergy. So hindi sila magkaaway sila, hindi sila nagsasang-ayon sa kanilang mga desisyon. So dito naman sa the separation from Rome, so Chapel's unwarranted frankness may be tolerated by Americans like him, but Filipino constitutes kind of frankness, so not as honesty but discourtesy and boorishness. Consequently, the Filipino press, ang Filipino press daw is na-feel sila, na-insulto sila sa giingon sa ilaha. Na-insulto sila sa sinabi nung Pope. So, sa Rome daw is there na merong dalawang Pilipino nga pare, which is si Jose Chanco and Salustiano Araulo. So, gathered sila before the Pope and told His Holiness about the problem of the Filipino clergy. So, meanwhile, sa Spain naman, isang Filipino writer and scholar, Isabelo de los Reyes, Isabelo de los Reyes is isang writer and a scholar. So, nagalit siya, nag-demand siya sa establishment sa mga Pilipino nga mga simbahan, independent of Rome. So, si Isabelo de los Reyes, bumalik siya sa Manila noong 1901. So, nalaman niya na the first labor unit in the Philippines is in July of the same year. So, and then Isabelo de los Reyes, bumalik siya sa Manila noong 1901. So, nalaman niya na the first labor unit in the Philippines, so, sa Philippines in July of the same year. So, tinawag niya itong Union Obrera Democratica, so which means Democratic Labor Union. So, noong gabi ng August 3, tumawag siya ng meeting on his labor union. And then meron namang bagong church, which is pinangalanan siya Iglesia Filipina Independiente, which means Philippine Independent Church. So, dili natasak converts to the new church. So, into a CSM, Isabelo de los Reyes made a list of what he considered to be sympathizers of the new church. He included in his list such big names as Fernando M.A., Guerrero Martin Ocampo, Trinidad H. Pardo de Tavira, Manuel Artigas, and Prince such as Aguinario Garces, Josh Berlin, Manuel Rojas, and Toribio Dominguez, and others. So, meron siya namang bago mga pare. At sila Adriano George Berlin, Manuel Rojas, Toribio Dominguez, and others. So, marami pa sila mga pare. So, nag-explain siya sa conference. So, De los Reyes was disappointed. Na-disappoint siya sa nalaman niya na that those men he listed as sympathizers of the new church will join it. Akala niya is kaning nga mga pari nga mga pari is sasali sila. At dahil doon na-disappoint si De los Reyes. So, the Iglesia Filipina Independiente and joined in affiliation papers were distributed, and by the end of 1902-14, Filipino press affiliated with the new church. So, noong 1902, affiliate og papers ang mga new church ang mga pari. Other Filipino press followed suit, especially especially in Ilocanos Norte, more followers came later to swell the ranks of the Philippines Independent Church. So, dili napunta sa attempts to win back Aglipay. So, dili nga part is mag-attempt sila para manalo muli sa Aglipay. So, Aglipay was irritated upon learning that he was proclaimed super bishop of the new church. So, ang bishop is the title of an ecclesiastical dignitary who possesses the fullness of the priesthood to rule a diocese at its chief pastor, the due submission to the primacy of the Pope. So it is of Catholic faith that bishops are defined institution. So he was the type that covering with the Spanish Jesus in the Chusut house at Santa Ana, Manila. That Jesus invited Agrippa. So ang Jesus di ay is invites nila ang Agrippa to a conference at the Jesus house through Leon Maguerero. So through Leon Maguerero na-invite ang Agrippa sa conference nila sa house ni Jesus. And Joaquin Luna, the Jesus chase father from Francisco Rodada Sen Jr., a Spanish author of a book on the Philippines to pursue Agrippa to return the Catholic Church. So, ang author of Catholic Agrippa actually had not yet left the Catholic Church. So, Kennedy is wala siya hindi pa siya nag-left sa Catholic Church. But he was working for the Philippinization of the church. Pero nag-work siya through Philippinization of the church in the Philippines. So, which means that Filipinos and not Spaniards would administer the Catholic Church in the country. On the 5th day of the conference between Agrippa and Prodada, the letter asked Agrippa to sign a document. So, later nag-ask ang Agrippa to sign a document which was confession of Catholic faith. This means with that Agrippa was returned to the Spanish Catholic Church. So, ang katong letter di ay is para yon sa kay Agrippa na para makuha niya is masign niya. So, Prodada's promised to make him bishop of Archbishop if he would sign the document. So, nangako pala si Prodada nga if mag-sign si Agrippa doon sa kanilang document is gagawin niya is kay bishop or archbishop. He would sign the document. He seized the priest by the back of the neck and shook him violently. Agrippa left Jesus in angry. So, he seized, gikuan niya ang katong pari by the back of the neck. Shook him, gikuan niya. He shook the priest violently. So, umalis si Agrippa na nagagalit kay Jesus. Consecration of Agrippa as bishop. So, Agrippa delusionment with Father Prodada gave him the excuse to accept the position as supreme bishop. So, of the Iglesia Filipina Independiente. So, consequently, he signified his intention to accept the position on October 1, 1902. He presided over the meeting of the council which was summoned to frame a constitution for the new church. So, on October 26, he celebrated his first mass as supreme bishop. On January 18, 1903, he was consecrated supreme bishop by the Bishop of Cagayan, Pangasinan, Isabela, Abra, Rebesia, Cavite, and Manila. So, meron naman sila attempt na po sila manalo sa Agripay to the Catholic fold was made around 1910. This time, Agripay, now the supreme bishop of the new church, was invited by the Jesuit to the house of Father Theo Rogers, publisher of the Philippines Free Press. Si Father Theo Rogers isa siyang publisher of the Philippines Free Press. Father Joaquin Villalonga. Kasama niya si Father Joaquin Villalonga. So, importance of the new church. The Iglesia Filipina Independiente, popularly known as Aglipayan. So, ang Iglesia Filipina Independiente, which is popular siya sa tawag na Aglipayan Church. So, kaning Iglesia Filipina Independiente is an Aglipayan Church. Iisa lang. Was a child of the revolution. So ang kani is he fought for religion independence. Yes, the revolution was violent reaction to Spanish injustice. So the Aglipayan movement was reaction to Spanish